Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls all around the world, tonight's film session, we have extra juice, extra energy, and way too much excitement because we are attacking interior offensive line play. We're going to be breaking down the 4 or 5 guys that I think will be competing for these 3 positions coming up this spring and headed on into the season kickoff against Virginia, September 7th. But before we get into tonight's film session, man, this is a YouTube page. I do have to tell you to subscribe, hit that thumbs up, and that share button. Do all that fun stuff and all that beggy, YouTube-y stuff that we tell you on the beginning and end of all of these YouTube pages and whatnot. Follow me on Twitter if you'd like. I do all this kind of stuff. Talk football a lot over there on the Twitter machine. That's Brooks Austin SI, again, at Brooks Austin SI. And then, catch us on the website as well, si.com/college/Georgia for all your latest and greatest Georgia Bulldogs news. And with that, man, we will stop wasting your time and begging for your support, even though you're already giving it to us by being here for today's film session. Hopefully you learned something. Hopefully we learned something together. And hopefully at the end of this, man, you leave with something and a little bit more knowledge about the game of football and in specifically the interior offensive line play. My favorite, and you will tell by the energy levels tonight. We appreciate you guys for the support. And without further ado, we shall get into the film session. All right. It's a PG-13 film session, so, you're about to witness a murder. So if you got any young kids watching the film session here, you might want to cover their eyes a little bit because Trey Hill's about to catch a body. All right, we're taking a look at the center here. He's going to be on a combo blocker, supposed to be, right here with his backside guard and Warren Erickson through this zero technique. A zero technique, for those of you who aren't, football savants, is called a zero technique because he's in the middle of the defense. He is not favored a side. He is head up on the center. Okay, these two, the right guard and Trey, are supposed to be working a combo block to this front side, inside linebacker, and Trey Hill is going to absolutely demolish this guy on a pass play, actually. This is why defense coordinators hate the RPO. All these guys are fake and run-heavy action. Jake Fromm's got the ball pulled, but all these offensive linemen are blocking like they're still running inside zone. And check out Trey Hill back here. Oh, my Lanta. Right. You love to see it, man. Look, he's at the 35-yard line. Okay, he's locked on right here. He's going to bury this dude all the way 9-ish or so yards downfield on a 3rd and 1 when the ball's out here to George Pickens on a completion. This is what we're talking about. This is why defense coordinators hate this stuff, because you're locked on to my linebacker right here. And granted, you are 2 or 3 yards down. Let's see where he's at when Jake Fromm releases this football. So ball's out of Jake Fromm's hand now. Okay, we're still in this 3-yard threshold-ish, I guess. Cade's probably a little bit further past it, but nonetheless, you get the point. They just don't like this as the defensive coordinator. But Trey Hill, this is what we were talking about the other day with Trey on our starting rosters breakdown, or projected rosters breakdown. You'll see stuff like this from 55 every once in a while where he just pops off the tape and, he's killing somebody and he's doing incredible stuff. And then you turn on the next clip and it's just kind of average. Let's see what happens on the next clip right here. The very next snap, we're in the backfield over here. Okay, look, he's 2 yards deep. I know they cut you off early right here, but we're running inside zone over here, and Trey's 2 yards in the backfield getting worked by the nose tackle. Okay? How about the next snap? We'll see what Trey does on the next snap. The next snap, we own a guy in man-to-man pass pro. Okay? There's 3 down linemen. We're going to leave our center on an island. How about that? We're going to leave our center on an island, and he's going to man up and do his job and win the daggum rep. Okay? It's just up and down for number 55. And if he's going to get much better, right, if he's going to improve going into the next season, it's a thing about consistency with Trey. It's not about whether or not he can do it. He can do this kind of stuff. Look, he's working that guy again. Same idea, same rep. Does a good job working to the second level. Stays patient enough to get this nose tackle shoulders turned. You kind of see that, how we're seeing the numbers here from this zero technique. That means he's turned this guy's shoulders. He's jacked this guy up. Warren's going to have a better chance to get in there and scoop up underneath him. And then he does a good job getting to the second level and getting hands-on and stepping on the toes like we talked about earlier. Okay, this guy can do this kind of stuff. It's just about whether or not he does it every single snap. If he wants to be an NFL caliber lineman, he's got to do it every snap. Can't take plays off like this, even on a backside block. I understand that. I understand we're running naked toss to the boundary right here, or to the field. I understand you got a simple back block on this zero. But this is an opportunity to, right now you got this guy leaning. This is an opportunity to bury that sucker, just like you did that linebacker that was half your size a couple snaps back, okay? It's got to be every single snap. And this kind of stuff is also the stuff I see. Look, you know you're getting some kind of blitz in a backside A-gap right here. You've got to get your head up. You can't lean with your head first. You got to move your feet and stop taking a play off, okay? That's all that is. That's a play off here at the start of the second quarter, 1st and 10. You think we're throwing the deep ball, and we are. We're throwing a touchdown pass to George Pickens. But guess what? That's a playoff, and that's a minus for 55 when he shouldn't have had very many in this football game. Woo-wee. Warren Erickson's about to have his welcome to the show moment right here to start the second quarter. You're going to see James Lynch from Baylor just do some naughty things to number 50 right here at right guard. Warren's going to get his eyes set back as James works this inside move, and he gets thrown up out the club. You know, Warren's a pretty big kid. James is pretty big himself. Yeah, we get to rolling. Got to keep our feet. Got to keep our base. Yeah, this will happen every once in a while, especially when you're a young player, not quite used to that smoke. James Lynch has got that. You know, this is an NFL football player, okay? This guy will be drafted this year. Watch the burst off the line of scrimmage, okay? Boom, 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 flap, 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 right? And then an inside move. He's going to get to the chest of Erickson right here, throw him down, and continue to fight. But Jake gets this ball off right here to none other than, it looks like, George Pickens. But yeah, a little welcome to the show moment for Warren. Just had to show you that one. All right, I think Warren Erickson's got some areas of improvement in terms of, weight room and all that other stuff that most young offensive linemen, especially interior offensive linemen, have to work on. It's all about growth and, becoming a little bit stronger. But here's one technical area where I believe Warren can get a lot better this offseason. And you're going to see a contrast of two styles here between a 3-year starter and Solomon McKinley and Warren Erickson, who's making his first career start here against Baylor in the Sugar Bowl. Now, one thing when it comes to blocking second-level defenders is you got to understand, as an offensive lineman, this guy or this guy is a much better athlete than you probably could ever imagine being. So, when it comes to blocking second-level defenders, my coach used to say, you got to put them in your parking space. Imagine your shoulders. Watch my cursor here. This your left shoulder. This your right shoulder, or your base, right? Your feet are always shoulder width apart. That's what coaches always tell you all the time. A good base is shoulder width apart, correct? Well, that's your parking space, if you will. See my cursor here? You got your base is your parking space, right? Okay. Well, when you get to the second level, we want to put the defender inside of our parking space. We want to step on their toes, as my offensive line coach used to say. Now, you'll see Solly down here, a good wide, even base. Look, his feet are on the level playing field. He's not leaning too much, and his hands waited to strike until this guy was in his parking space, until he had stepped on his toes. Now, Warren, on the other hand, doesn't quite do that. Warren lunges a little early. Warren has decided right now, I'm going to put my hands on this guy. I'm going to get to him. Now. I'm going to get there. Well, when you run up on the guy, he's a better athlete than you, remember? So, when that happens, he's just going to spin you. He's just going to spin you like a top if you don't do what Solly does here. Look, Solly waits until that guy almost strikes him. He runs up on the dude, and then number 2 has no other choice but to put his hands on Saul's. And then once you see Solly's got hands locked on right here, this rep is over for number 2. He might as well just lay down because Solomon McKinley's not going to let him go. Okay, he's got his hands inside, good positioning there, and he's driving his feet. Whereas Warren extended a little bit too early, tried to bring the strike to the linebacker instead of waiting a little bit longer and stepping on his toes, putting him in his own parking space, and then getting his hands on him. This is just patience as a young offensive lineman, and you'll learn these types of things, along with, how to stop a bull rush from a guy like James Lynch after he took your soul. But there you go. Just a guy who's done it a lot, a guy who's going to do it a lot. All right, so now you're going to get to see Justin's athleticism and his physicality on display in one singular play. He's going to be on a second level block right here. He sees that his defensive end widens, so Andrew Thomas has got him. Nose tackle work down to the center. So now we are a free blocker up to the second level of the defense, and we're going to attack it with speed, effort, and power. Right here is number 54, and put a hat on a hat, right? We talk about stepping on the linebacker's toes, giving them no option. How about that right there? How about closing the space like that right there? This guy wants to make this decision, and guess what? It's early in the football game. You can have it. 11:40, it's our first possession. Georgia ends up losing this football game. But Justin Schaefer says, I'm going to go set the daggum tone right now. I'm going to let this guy know that if he sees 54 on the second level, he better start shucking, because I'm going to tell you right now, I'm sticking my helmet down. He can move out of my way, or he can get hit and get smacked in the mouth right like this right here. Okay, you see the athleticism getting up to the second level quick enough, and you see the physicality and the approach to the game that this guy plays with right here, right off the snap. In this South Carolina football game. So this is what you're going to get from the returning senior. I think he's a shoe-in as a starter at the guard position, opposite of possibly Ben Cleveland or whoever gets that right guard spot. But this left guard spot, to me, would be sealed up with this guy right here. He's fully healthy now, as he declared on his Twitter account today during this recording. This kind of physicality and the athleticism in general, right? We already showed you, or if we haven't already showed you, we're going to show you tonight some of the pull-in plays that Matt Luke, asked his guys to execute at Ole Miss, and now that he's at Georgia. And this guy's going to be able to do so. I like what Justin Schaefer is going to be bringing to the table next year in Athens. Taking a look at Ben Cleveland here, and he's just one of the very few offensive linemen I've ever evaluated that just seem very, very disinterested with the power and the strength that defensive linemen in the SEC possess. Okay, never ever will you see Ben Cleveland line up across from someone that he finds intimidating physically. I mean, they don't make them much bigger than these two guys playing on the right side right here in Isaiah Wilson and Ben Cleveland. When you take a look at him, he's an absolute bear of a human being. And you're going to see what we're talking about right here. He's basically going to put a half an arm on this 3 technique, rushing down the middle of his chest. And watch how quickly he stymies this bull rush. And how, like I said, disinterested. Look, he's playing this guy with one arm right here, basically. He's playing with a free hand. And this guy's giving him everything he's got to run that bull rush right there, and Ben Cleveland's having none of it. Look, and this is great footwork, right? His outside foot's actually up right now. His instep is dropping. Typically, when you do this kind of stuff as an offensive lineman, you're going to get walked, especially by an SEC defensive lineman. If you don't keep a good inside foot to outside foot ratio or relationship, as they call it in the offensive world. All right, look at Isaiah Wilson's feet. See how his inside foot's up, his outside foot's in this nice, pass protecting positioning. Okay, all the time he's got good inside to outside foot relationships. Ben, not so much. Ben is just, winning, being a physical freak right here. Look, the feet are choppy, and he is getting walked, but he's losing slowly, right? Dying a slow death right there. And one that he's probably never going to lose honestly, because he's so damn strong. Um, this is just a sign that he's got room to grow. I mean, see what we're talking about: outside foot up, inside foot back. He's got room to grow in terms of his, positioning and his mechanics and his technique. But good Lord, like I said, they don't create human beings like this every single day. Okay, and he's got very little body fat on him. He's about 6'7", I'd say 335, 340 pounds, and yeah, he is jacked. I'm telling you right now, veins galore, and we'll stop talking the homoerotics here in a minute. I'll stop talking about his physical presence, but it's all there. Okay, it's just a matter of whether or not he can put the technique together. And we'll show you a couple things else that or a couple other things that I'm a tad bit concerned with in terms of the Matt Luke system. This is just your regular old counter right here that Ole Miss ran, right? Matt Luke's coaching this football team at this point. You got John Rice Plumlee right here. He rushed for well over 200 yards in this football game. But you're going to get a down, down, down block right here. Left guard going to have to pull around, seal the edge, while the tackle is skip pulling. Okay, you're going to see him take his inside foot, go back, cross over with the back foot, and deep pull back this way. Supposed to be the lead man on this counter right here. Now, this is the kind of stuff that I just don't know if Ben Cleveland's going to be able to do. He's a very stiff mover, right? Doesn't really bend well in the knees or the hips. Just a big brawler, right? He's a guy who's made to go forward and backwards, not side to side. Can he do this kind of stuff if asked? Because, again, I saw counter option one time from the University of Georgia this year, and it was against Baylor in the bowl game. They pulled backside guard and backside tackle. Well, Ole Miss pulled more backside guards and more backside tackles than just about damn near anybody in the SEC under Matt Luke, and he's probably going to bring it to the University of Georgia. Is Ben Cleveland going to be athletic enough to do this kind of stuff and adjust on the fly? That is my main priority and main question headed into this offseason and into next year. Is this guy going to be able to do this? And look, this is the fun stuff about option football. Or not about option football, about counter football. Now, granted, this guy is a freak, and he makes a very good linebacker right here miss on a juke. But look, the counter, the tackle didn't even get through right here. He's just caught up in the wash. He might as well be useless right here. But all the movement and all the misdirection is going to cause an issue right here, and over pursuit from the safety. Next thing you know, the quarterback cuts it up the middle, and all this green grass, and damn near takes it for 6, but gets run down from behind. Oh, no, he does take it for 6. How about that? Sorry, he got caught from behind earlier in the football game, but just a good, heavy quarterback counter, one that will be in the system, I would imagine, this coming season at the University of Georgia with Jamie Newman at the helm. That's what we're talking about with Big Ben. I don't know if this is ever going to be his strength. We're trying to pull him right here, and you're going to see what I'm talking about. It just looks indecisive. Just looks like he's in there clogging the hole. I don't know. Maybe with extra reps, he'll be able to get it done. But again, look at number 7 right here. This is just special. This is why this guy's probably going to be the first back taken off the board. There is nothing here. I mean, how does this end up into a 15-yard gain? It's beyond me. But again, it's kind of what we're talking about with 74. I don't know if he's going to be the perfect fit for the Matt Luke system. Okay? Maybe not. All right. So we're looking at Clay Webb here. Obviously, Clay Webb doesn't have a ton of tape at the University of Georgia, seeing as he was just a true freshman this past year. And, honestly, watching his highlight tapes from high school serves me no purpose in terms of evaluating him as an offensive lineman because, at least at the college level, because it's all flat backs, man. And what I'm talking about is, offensive systems like the triple option where guys are, playing with a really, really flat back on the offensive line, guys who are constantly moving forward and just running their feet and heavy run block action. That's all great, fine, and dandy, but it doesn't exactly translate to the college level because nobody's running that kind of stuff. Now, what you can see here is a guy who is, fairly competitive when it comes to one-on-ones in the opening right here in Atlanta. Shout out to Scott Kennedy, my boss, for the cut-ups here. Nonetheless, you're going to see, again with the nonetheless stuff, but you're going to see Clay Webb can do this kind of stuff. And what you're also going to see, and he's got good feet, right? He's blocking that guy with his feet right there. That's all chopping the feet. What we can't do is open the front gate, though. We can't open the front gate. Can't let this guy in right here when we move this foot back inside, when we drop step it here as an offensive lineman. As a left guard, we got to keep that good toe to heel instep right here. Got to keep our front foot up, pound down. Don't, we call it, we got to pound that inside foot, not drop it back, okay? We got to stay inside this guy, keep him on our outside shoulder. Play half of a man, not a full man, right? Anyways, what you can see here from Clay is a good initial base right here. This is good positioning. See how we got a good knee bend right here, a good outside toe to inside heel relationship. You see how these kind of are offset just a tad bit? Right there, we have lost now. Anyways, what I mainly wanted to show you in these clips is look at the body type from Clay. Okay, look at all these other guys. Look at how thick all these other dudes are. Some of these guys got bad body weight in their bellies. There's Scott right there. Some of these guys got bad body weight in their bellies. Some of these guys look like Clay. Okay, look how thin he looks. He still looks like this after his first year at Georgia too. So this is a guy who's going to have to get into the weight program and get into especially the meal program and get a little heavier in all of the right ways. We got to get a little thicker if we're going to play big-time SEC football and play it well. Okay, I think he's going to have to really, really compete to even hold on to his second-string center job with the next guy coming in that we're about to show you. Not exactly completely unrelated, but this is a little underwear Olympics right here. They always say slow feet don't eat. Well, Cedric Van Pran doesn't exactly have slow feet. Take a look at this. I mean, just lightning stuff from the big guy. I mean, look at that. Incorporating a little hoop drill, going ins and outs. Gotta love it. It doesn't always have to be fancy feet for wide receivers. You got to have fancy feet to play the big positions too. And just working, getting into his quick set here. This is all good stuff. Little something for young guys to pick up on. It's something you might need to add into your repertoire of your daily workout. It's good stuff. It's good feet. I think Cedric Van Pran has an opportunity or at least a chance to potentially play early at the University of Georgia or wherever he ends up signing his letter of intent come February. And it's because of stuff like this right here. I believe this is the state championship right here in the Superdome. Actually, I know for a fact it is. They played in 2 consecutive state championships at Warren Easton, his high school. They lost both of them. This is his junior year. They're trying to run a screen here. And speaking of the screen, Cedric Van Pran is going to drive this guy out of the screen. Check this out. This stuff right here is one of a kind. Yeah. He meets him at the 28-yard line, and Buddy is running from him for as long as he can possibly go. Look, this kind of effort and this kind of heart and determination to play offensive line is going to set this kid apart in college. It has to. I don't see any other way. This kind of effort and this kind of love for the game translates into success. And it's a lot of this on this highlight tape. It's a lot of cakes. Okay, and a lot of it's second level cakes. Okay, him working hard and finishing blocks because that's what this guy's all about. He's all about finishing blocks and playing through the echo of the whistle, right? Not just the initial whistle. You got to play and play hard until somebody pulls you off, and that's what number 63 for Warren Easton does and will continue to do at the college level. Stuff like this right here, just driving and finishing and putting guys into the turf. Now, he's not going to bully guys at the rate and, at the physicality in which he did in high school. but the effort is going to translate no matter what. And he's got the size and he's got the ability, right? This is a guy who won the award for the best offensive lineman at the Under Armour All-American camp, okay? So, and games. So this is a guy who can play at the next level and still, and rely, oh my God, and rely solely upon his effort and strength and abilities. And we showed you the footwork and what kind of athlete this guy is, and then you pair it with this kind of tape, and you know why he's the number one center in the country, okay? You're going to take out 2 right here, he says. Boom. I like it. It's good stuff. Alrighty, folks, that is the session for tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you learned a little bit about interior offensive line play, about the piggies, the guys getting down and dirty there, creating the space and the open lanes for the running backs. Now, if you don't mind, run on over to si.com/college/Georgia, also known as SI's Bulldog Maven. That's where we've got all the good stuff, all the latest and greatest news and top stories on all things Georgia athletics. You'll find some great work over here. And if you don't mind, man, while you're here on the YouTube page, hit that subscribe button. Tell your friends about it. And we will see you next time.